is from above. People got me questioning. Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love?
Hello, how's everybody doing today? My name is Shepherd, and we are the Writer's Block, Inc. And our mission is to ignite social change on the page and the stage. And we just did a play at New London High School this past weekend called Sincerely the Streets. And so the topics that our kids discussed this summer was violence in our communities and how they're experiencing violence at the age of 10, Black, white, Hispanic, no matter their color or race. And so we asked them, how can we bring this message to our community so they understand what's going on? And it just happened to be during this time where some of our students were dealing with different issues of gang violence and abuse and domestic violence. And then you have, you know, this horrific story of Eric Gardner, and you have Mike Brown situation. And so these issues hit close to home for us. And so that's why we are here today to share some of the work we did with our youth to help to really impact our community about stopping the violence and standing up for what's right, no matter how old you are.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
So before they sing, I'm gonna do this poem that I wrote called Sweet Brother Martin. This was back, obviously, when the Trayvon Martin case had happened. And it's just so telling of the society in which we live and the work that we still have to do. Amen? Tell me what you think of me. No, honestly. Tell me what you think of me. Do you feel the spirit of a movement? The wounds and bruises I'm in tune with? I'm instituting change and improvement made through the fusion of old school views and youth music. It's not new. Some would call it revolution, others retribution. I just call it execution. Excommunicating excuses, cause see, I expect excellence and I'm here making room for it. Extra, we're in the news again. Because it's been too many times we've been reminded it's not what we do, but what we can prove with it. So no, I don't need to record the police on my camera phone. I need Black jurors in the courtroom when the panel's closed. I need Black judges and Black lawyers who went to school for it. Why don't you just tell me what you think of me? Or is this what you see? Do you see some hooligan full of foolishness cause I wear my hoodie when it's cool outside, and maybe cause I look cool with it? Who would have known my look would have been so disputed? So if I look over my shoulder, it's not because of me, but the paranoia that you view me with. But see, when you're from my side of the fence and your eyes are taught to see life through the trenches, you'll learn it's survival of the fittest. In these shoes I can't fit, but I still learn to stand my ground properly. And if it's trouble that you're looking for when you're looking at me, you'll probably find it. Especially if you follow it and watch me like I'm your property. Why don't you just tell me what you think of me? Or is that what you see? I'll tell you what I see. I see an irritation on the soft underbelly of America, and all it takes is a flip upside down and one touch to see the emotion. How quickly we remember to forget when the news clip ends and the headline's over, but cold shoulders won't extinguish the flame. Cause whether I'm a politician in my black suit and shiny shoes, or a teenager in my hoodie and Nike sneakers, I'm still a target, one and the same. They'll track me whether I go to college or jail. Cause either way, I'm some statistic some wish would fail. And it's times like this that I'm reminded of my sweet brother Martin. Assassinated as he stood on his balcony in the Rainbow Tower in Memphis. No, I mean my sweet brother Martin. Assassinated 70 yards from his townhouse in Sanford, Florida. Two people, one name, one struggle, one in the same. Tell me, what will it take to bridge the gap in Black America between the ghettos and the suburbs? Pastor, I heard you when you hold me, shake the hand to the left of me, cause it's us that we need, the same color we bleed, we're brothers indeed. And see, President Obama said, quote, it could have been me. I say it is you, so stuck in your individuality, we're quick to point the finger at the system as if that's what's holding us back. But why would they give us more respect than we give ourselves? Tell me. How do you expect change, my urban brother, if you don't support those of your same skin tone more advanced than you? How do you expect support, my suburban brother, if you don't give those of your same skin tone a chance or two? This division irritates me. Then you have status gangsters, trending topic politicians, hashtag protesters. There's no pressure on your side of the computer the screen. You can be anything you choose to be, just choose the keys, I know. Now tell me this, how many of you well-educated, well-traveled individuals ever traveled around the hood? Congratulations, you graduated. How about you hop on a train and pass your station, see what's masqueraded and masturbated, if you have the strength, if you have the patience. Now you'll take a trip to Africa, and I respect your passion, but you're baffled by what's happening right around you. I guess it's just not that exciting when we're dying right behind you. Now tell me.
Hallelujah.
How many of you so-called thugs ever been outside the hood? Buff bodies, cluck jocks, bust shots, but won't touch the cops. You'll riot and burn down your neighborhood pizza shop, but won't bring the message outside your communities. And it's times like this that I'm reminded of my sweet brother Martin, whose life was a civil rights movement within itself. No, I mean my sweet brother Martin, whose life was a civil rights movement only in his death. Why don't you cut it out and attend a rally? The gang you need, join me to 9. Leave behind your valuables, no worries, no papers you need signed, but everything you need fine. Cause we make something out of nothing every day. Imagine what you could do if we even tried. And see, we're all one and the same from the blood in our veins, that we share the same struggle, so we all can be the change. Cause from where I'm standing, the grass that needs cutting on both sides of the fence is the same. So if I am you and you are me, why don't you come a little closer and tell me what you think of me?
Hallelujah.
The youth of America are under attack. And when the youth of America are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the youth of America are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the youth of America are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Louder, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
All right. Now we're gonna have Chris and Chelsea come speak about how this hurts them.
Holy crap, yo. It's amazing because we live in a pretty small city and a lot of people, don't think things like this happen here. But we have to work hard to make these things happen here. And I think it's really important that we recognize that the people at the forefront of this today are the young black people from Hearing Youth Voices, the young black folks of this community. And just like they led the change in the civil rights movement, they are leading this now. And it's really important that we stand up and help them and support them in doing so. We're standing here today because there was a tragedy, and it sucks that that's why we're here. It sucks that we can only come here when bad things happen, that we have a hard time sustaining our momentum and making sure that other things like this don't happen. Because Shanaika was right in the beginning when she said this didn't begin with Trayvon Martin. It doesn't end now unless we help make it end. Unless we examine the sort of things that caused it, unless we examine how the police operate. Every 28 hours, a black person is killed by police without trial. Now, what causes that? What are the police doing when they aren't protecting our communities? Why are 80% of drug users white, but if 75% of people incarcerated for drugs, people of color, of those 50% black folks? Why do they police our communities in the way that they don't police white communities where drug use is even higher? So we're standing here in this community that is filled with people of color. We're standing here and looking at all these people of color. It is incredible, and we have the power to try and stop these things, and we need to sustain our momentum in doing so. I know, my mom is right over there, standing in front of the white dude with the bandana. That's my dad. And the police are going to treat my mom different than they treat me because of the color of my skin. The police are going to treat my cousins different than they treat me. And when I think about that, when I think about our little nieces, 6 months old, losing their father because he's a black man and he could be gunned down in the street. When I think about my cousins and my family, when I think about the youth who we work with, it kills me. It kills me because I know that there are so many people who won't listen to them, who don't think that they're powerful. Our youth are not the exception. We saw the incredible youth of Writer's Block. We saw the incredible youth of Hearing Youth Voices. All the youth have this in them. It's these are incredible youth, but so are all youth. They're all incredible people, and so few people take the time to listen to them. So few people take the time to support them. Mike Brown is not the only one who didn't have support. Trayvon Martin is not the only one who didn't have support. So when you stand here now supporting our youth, remember that they need support not just on today, not just on tomorrow, but going forward to make sure things like that don't keep happening. It happens in our communities too. Half of our youth have had run-ins with the police. Half of our youth have been pushed out of school. And so when things like that are happening, we need to stand up. So it's not just when people die. Tragedy takes so many different shapes and forms, and support needs to take so many different shapes and forms. Maybe you can't come out to meetings all the time, but maybe you could donate $5, $10, $15 to Hearing Youth Voices, to Writer's Block, to the people in the community making change. Maybe you can't come out to an event we're having Wednesday, but maybe you could bake a dish and send it with someone. There's so many ways which we can support one another, and we need to start thinking about the ways that we can shape our community for the better, because the fact of the matter is that we might not be able to stop what's happening in Ferguson by standing here, but we can make New London better by standing here.
Hello everyone, my name's Chelsea. I work at Hearing Youth Voices. I'm going to talk a little bit about, and Chris talked about it a little bit, privilege. So both of us standing up here are black, we're mixed race, but we don't look black. So when we go out in the community, the police are not going to be targeting people like us. They're not going to be targeting light-skinned people of color at the same way they target black folks, people that look black, people that are dark-skinned. So we need to recognize that not all of us here are Mike Brown. Not all of us here are Trayvon Martin. So when we go out there and we organize and we're in solidarity with each other and we're working together to create change, recognize your privileges and like how that can affect the movement and where you belong in this movement. So I see so many people who are not examining what those things are in their lives, and it can destroy all the change we're trying to create together. So I'm glad that we're all out here together. Here, this doesn't happen very often. I'm very glad that we can do this, and I hope we can continue to do this even when there isn't a tragedy. There's many things wrong in the United States, especially for our youth, and let's work together to create spaces and to change the systems that make it so that our brown and black people in the United States and all over the world don't have to face this. They're not gunned down in the street just for existing. We don't need that. So please, if you want to have more conversations about this, please hit up Hearing Youth Voices. We're willing to have those conversations. What does it mean to have privilege? What does it mean to live in a white supremacist society? That doesn't mean that everyone is part of the KKK. What it means is, there's just systems at place that make it so that white folks and light-skinned people of color have a lot of power over dark-skinned folks and black folks. And so it's a complicated system that we don't get taught about in school. So if you really want to learn more about it, please come to Hearing Youth Voices and talk to us. And we're willing to have those conversations. And after this, we're going to continue the discussion. So you'll be getting flyers later about an event we're going to be having this Wednesday. So please come out and support the youth, support New London, support black folks, support black youth. Thank you. Please give it up for the mayor.
Today, New London stands with Ferguson.
Woo! Yeah.
We stand with Ferguson not only to seek justice for Mike Brown, as we stood on this exact spot too soon a time ago, seeking justice for Trayvon Martin, but we stand with Ferguson today because Ferguson taught us something. It gave us an answer to the question that was asked a few moments ago. Why are those statistics so different? Why are people treated so differently? Ferguson provides an answer. Because it is the institutionalization of racism.
Yes.
It is the institutionalization of classism. And when the civil rights of any American are infringed, it is an infringement on all our rights. All our rights. And in Ferguson, we saw what happened when people stood up just like you're standing up now to demand their basic rights of due process, their basic rights of fair treatment, their basic rights to gather and protest peacefully. And how was it responded to? With a military-esque escalation. Well, I am here today to say as an American that it is not only my right, it is my duty to say that as Americans we will not stand for apartheid in America. you that I am angry. I know that you are angry too, but you have expressed your anger the right way, because Reverend Clark is so right. Anger alone is not the answer. It must be put into action. But in putting anger into action, we must always remember that more hate will not conquer hate. Only love can do that. More violence will not conquer violence. Only peace can do that. But if we continue to work together, stand together, speak together, protest together, work together, then in time, all of us, black and white, young and old, gay and straight, all of us as Americans will overcome. Thank you.